Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, you guys can see by the title that we are doing a winterizing barn clean out of my horse barn. So you guys know I have two horses, Honey and Millie, and every winter we have to clean out the barn and get the stalls ready because as you guys may know, some of you may be new here and you may not know, but basically when it gets too cold, I do have minis, so it gets really cold here for about 3 to 4 weeks. Usually around the month of January to February, it gets really cold here and the temperatures drop below zero. And when that happens, there is snow on the ground, the ground is frozen, and my horses just get a little too cold. Even though I do blanket them, I don't leave them outside during the night whenever it gets that cold and those temperatures drop. One of my horses, Honey, she has a bum foot. Basically, long story short, she had a bum foot before I got her. It's foundered slightly, and so the freezing cold ground can actually set that inflammation off in there, and we don't want that. Last year, we had perfect success during winter by stalling her during those freezing cold nights during that week or two, usually in mid to late January. We get like 2 weeks straight of just below freezing temperatures at night. And during the day, I can let her out and she's fine. But at nighttime, it just gets way too cold. So the barn has to be clean. And so today it is that time. We do one of these full barn clean outs during spring and then summer. After winter's over, the stalls are just wrecked from winter. So we do a huge clean out and then we do a huge clean out every fall to get it ready for winter time. I'm really excited to show you guys and take you along so you guys can watch the process. And of course, you'll get to see the horses too. We've also been doing a lot of cleaning up around the property. I may include some clips of that. So as you guys can see, we're using the tractor here to remove this huge pile of debris and lumber from the walls inside the barn. If you guys remember last year, Patrick did a huge gutting of the inside of our barn and remodeled the whole thing. It looks so good. And this was all of the remnants of the walls and just bad wood and stuff that we replaced. We're just putting it on the trailer here and hauling it away. He did such a great job. We were hoping to get this wrapped up last year, but it's okay. We're getting it done now. While we're outside taking care of stuff, I'm taking full advantage of this beautiful day and I'm gonna go on and walk the horses. We usually halter the horses up and walk them around the property, let them graze, and let them just enjoy some exercise. We absolutely love doing this. There's my kitty cat. We absolutely love doing this and letting them just get out of the pen and enjoy some grass. Obviously, they can't be free rein on the grass because they're miniatures and they're so small, but we definitely love walking them and letting them have a good treat. They love it. It's one of their favorite things to do. So we try to do this as much as possible. We are actually fencing in the property into a much larger area. We're actually going to be fencing in the field up on the hill around the back of the barn and maybe the pond too. We're not sure if we're going to close off the pond or not to the horses, but we are working on that currently. We've actually got a bunch of posts already in and we're hoping maybe that project will be finished next year, but who knows, we get busy. And then if not, that's okay too, because I don't mind walking them. We love walking the horses. So on to the barn clean out for winter. As you can see, the barn is a mess. The stalls are definitely dirty. And what we're doing basically now is we're just scooping out all of the bedding from last winter, really. It was like end of spring that we had them in here and they got dirtied up. So we are basically cleaning out and gutting the whole stall here. We have to do Honey's stall as well. This one was Millie's stall. She keeps her stall a lot cleaner than Honey does. So Millie's stall was the easier one. Honey's is definitely a lot harder and we'll get to that. But we're basically just filling this up in buckets and then we're going to take the buckets and dump the remnants of the bedding into the tractor. And then we take it and dump it into our huge compost pile, which I'm going to show you guys in just a second. This is a very laborious process. This took us several hours, and of course we have respirators on because it's a very messy job. It's very dusty, as you can see, and that's why we wear them. This is at the back of the barn where we dump the trash cans full of bedding into the bucket of the tractor, and then we take all of this old bedding and we take it to the compost pile, which we have behind the barn, and we dump it all there, and then we use that for our garden every year. Here is the big pallet of bedding that we bought for the horses for this year, and then here is the hay area. We have a birthing stall in the back of the barn that we opened up the walls to. It's a huge area where we stock all of our hay for the horses for the whole year, and that's what this is. Here you can see we are laying out the bags of pelleted bedding. We use pelleted bedding from TSC for our horses. It breaks down great. It's very low dust, obviously, whenever you're not scooping it up into the air and you just have it laying as a bedding. It's very low dust. Honey does great on it. Honey has heaves, so we have to use very low dust bedding for her. So we choose not to use like a lot of dustier beddings like wood shavings and things. We find the pelleted, it's like a compressed pellet. It works great, and it breaks down into like a really absorbent heavy grit whenever it breaks down, and so we find that it really works great for us. The owner who we got Millie from actually gave us this idea. It's what he used in his barn and we loved it, so we do this. Our horse stalls are 12 by 12 approximately. They're a little bit off because our barn isn't quite symmetrical because we kind of renovated the walls and stuff, but they're basically 12 by 12s, and it takes 6 mats exactly to add up into the inner of our stalls. So we use about 1 bag per mat. We also got these horse stall mats from TSC as well. I don't remember the exact dimensions. I want to say they're 4 by 6s, but I'm not exactly 100% sure. I can't remember. They may be 3 by 5s. I don't know. But basically, they're whichever ones that TSC sells, and we got them a couple years ago whenever we were redoing the stalls. But basically, we do 1 bag of the pelleted bedding per mat, and it works out perfectly. This bedding expands as you break open the pellets, so the horses walking on it actually breaks open these pellets, and then as they get wet from moisture, pee, anything, they actually expand, and then it's really easy to just muck them up and scoop it out and clean it up, and it's really nice. So you can see we just spread it around really, really well, and we're going to do this in Honey's stall too. But basically, you just spread it around a really even layer on all the mats, and it works perfectly. I'm so happy to have this done. It was such a big undertaking because it does take, you know, a few hours to get all of this done. So I'm really grateful that we were able to find a day to knock this project out. One of the last things there is to do is to clean out the horse's water trough. This trough we keep split between the 2 horse stalls. As you can see, we slide it underneath this wall barrier that we kind of put up. It's basically just a cattle fence gate that we put really high so that we can fit the water trough underneath of it and the horses can share it. And the reason we did that is because they don't each need one of these to themselves because it's a really big trough, and also we have to keep a heater in there. You saw me just put the heater in there, and that heater is very, very expensive. So instead of having to have 2 of those, we just split the trough between the 2 horses so that they can share the heater, and they each get half of the trough, so it works out really nicely. And yeah, here is the finished barn, completely clean. All of the mats have been cleaned. We've cleaned out all of the bedding, all of the stalls. We have the water trough cleaned out. The heater is placed in, ready for the cold winter nights for both horses. It looks so good. It's so clean and fresh in here, and I'm just happy that we were able to knock this out for the horses, and it's ready for those cold winter nights. Alright guys, that is it for this barn clean out video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. We worked so hard to get the barn set up for winter for the horses, and now it is perfectly ready for those frigid January nights. I'm so excited to have that project knocked out because it is really time consuming and it is a really big project that we do. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this little barn clean out routine for winter. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments down below. If you have any recommendations of videos that you want to see, let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you guys next time. Be kind. Bye.